Hey there, geeks, what's up? It's your boy Simi here, just giving you a heads up that the first review of Batman v Superman has officially surfaced onto the internet. Yeah, it surprised me too, because I honestly didn't think we'd see any of those until a week or so before the big premiere, but I guess that's just what happens. Anyways, the review, or rather the mini review, was done by Anthony Breznican, who is a big time writer for Entertainment Weekly. He saw it and clarified a lot of rumors that were going on with this film, and debunked a lot of the statements made by the haters who claimed the trailer showed too much. Yeah, like most of us didn't already know that wasn't true because so far what we've seen has been regurgitated from the last few trailers, and that's only like maybe 4% of the film. And so I don't get where that complaint comes from, but anyways, that's not the point. Anthony had a lot of different things to say about this film. Essentially, he had this to say: if you love Man of Steel, then you will love Batman v Superman. Now, if you love Man of Steel, but not the ending, then Batman v Superman may redeem your thoughts on it. If you hated Man of Steel and the whole grim dark thing, okay, probably not for you. Wow, so what are my thoughts on that? I think that Anthony was pretty straight to the point when he said that, and it makes sense to me, and sounds like a very likely way people may be receiving Batman v Superman. They're probably going to see it the same way they saw Man of Steel. I think that's because while some people think Man of Steel was a critical disaster, which I disagree with extremely, because I love Man of Steel, it was more of a divisive film, with an equal balance of people who loved it and people who hated it, which is common amongst a lot of films. Some people think Eyes Wide Shut by Stanley Kubrick is a good film, other people don't like it. It's just part of life. But, I can also prove my point about Man of Steel being divisive because if you look at a site like Rotten Tomatoes, which is largely ran by critics, they mostly gave it a 56%, and most of them genuinely didn't like it, I guess. But if you were to scroll on to a site like IMDb, which is largely ran by general audience, and reviewed by them, it got a 7.2 stars out of 10. So most people probably loved it there. The best way to sum this up is that it is the critics versus the audience. I would say that's pretty divisive. And I know that I might like Man of Steel, so I'll be in the loving crowd of it. It's still going to be divisive. There are going to be people that hate it. There's going to be people that loved it. There are going to be people that thought it was good but not great. So they're kind of the middle crowd. But that is essentially divisive. There's three sides to that narrative. But that is not all that Anthony had to say for Batman v Superman, as you could obviously imagine, because it's a review. There's always a lot of different comments put into that. He actually went on to praise some of the character portrayals in the film by saying that Wonder Woman is fearsome. There's a moment between Batman and Superman that'll make the most cynical eye tear up just a little bit. Fans will have a lot to discuss, parenthesis, and fight over, parenthesis. Whoa. Can we take a few steps back there? Did he just say that Wonder Woman is fearsome? Yeah, I would like to think so, and that makes me very happy to see because not only did he say this, but a while back it was rumored that Gal Gadot's performance as Wonder Woman steals the show from higher profile characters like Henry Cavill and Affleck who are playing major DC stars like Batman and Superman. So it makes you wonder, is she really great compared to what a lot of haters have said? Because out of everyone that's been cast in this film, she's probably received the most flack next to Jesse Eisenberg. People said she can't act, which I think she has. Some people think she's too skinny, which is kind of weird because Wonder Woman isn't that muscular in the comics. She's pretty skinny. I mean, even some of her earliest appearances in the 1940s show that. But it makes you wonder, could a lot of the people who've hated on her since the beginning start to jump the boat and love her as a Wonder Woman and maybe stop trying to cast people like Jamie Alexander in the role? Hopefully. But that's hard to say, and that remains to be seen because some people have yet to be fully moved by even Ben Affleck's performance as Batman, despite how great he's been looking and sounding in the trailers. And let me tell you something. He is Batman personified. He's the Batman we've been waiting for 75 years. He's not Christian Bale who fights with his elbows. He's not anything like that. He's the Batman that feeds you your kneecaps, jumps around, bashes your head in. That's the Batman we've been waiting for. But I digress. That's just my thoughts on it. But wait, what about that moment with Superman and Batman? Could Bruce and Clark be at a point where they start to see that they aren't so different at all, and that maybe there's a different approach to fighting crime, and set their differences aside to fight a greater threat, which is probably coming out next year, Justice League Part 1, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But we'll just have to wait and see on that part. So, I have one more question for you guys. Are you still with me? I hope so, because we're not at the part that should matter the most, in my opinion. A while back, it was stated that there would be a few cameos from notable DC characters like The Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman. So, that rumor has not been confirmed. I mean, because it was speculated. I don't think there was any further real comment from DC about that, from what I've heard. You know, and them putting Cyborg, the Flash, and Aquaman in the film is very controversial. It's gotten a lot of criticism for the film because a lot of people think that it's shoehorning things. It's a rush to catch up to Marvel and the Avengers. But I disagree because, remember, this film is called Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Notice that second subtitle, Dawn of Justice? This is a setup for the Justice League. This is a prequel. And then there's the V, which Zack Snyder, I believe, commented on, that it's not necessarily a versus. It is a place in legal terms where you're settling your differences and it's coming together to come with a resolution. That's what this is. This is a resolution. That resolution, obviously, being the Justice League. So people shouldn't honestly complain about that. That's my thoughts on it. Now, he didn't exactly say anything about how Cyborg appears or the King Aquaman, but he did say how Central City's Scarlet Speedster is going to appear, played by Ezra Miller. So here's the exact description of how the Flash's first on-screen scene in the movie will be going, according to Anthony Breznican. The Flash, for example, will appear in a dream sequence. It sounds like the paranoid Bruce Wayne has a couple of nightmares in the movie, one of which features supervillain Darkseid. Now, I'm going to go ahead and believe Anthony, because it's probably true, because as you recall, some of the trailers for Batman v Superman did feature what had looked like parademons. Now, I'm going to take a step real back to explain to you guys what are parademons, because not everyone reads comics. Parademons are the foot soldiers of Darkseid. They are from Apocalypse. They're his minions. They're flying demon people, pretty much. They're aliens. And, there's also the whole photo of Nightmare Batman, the Batman that looks like Mad Max. He's wearing the trench coat and has the goggles. That's Nightmare Batman, anyways. So, as I was saying, he's there, standing on a cliff overlooking a very famous symbol in DC's lore. That symbol obviously being the Omega symbol, which is synonymous in DC lore. It's most associated with Darkseid. So, it's there. It really opens up the door to the very likely theory that the famous warlord of Apocalypse will be the one that unites the 7 mightiest heroes of the DC Universe together next year, in Justice League Part 1, which is directed by Zack Snyder. But we'll all just have to wait and see, There's only 18 more days till Batman v Superman is out, and I'm very excited for that, and I hope you all are as well. And Up Your Geek is probably going to do a spoiler podcast about it, and we're possibly going to have a special guest there. We are not getting back with him yet, but hopefully it happens. And this will probably be the last time you'll hear my voice until March 25th, and when we do that spoiler podcast. So, that's all I have to say, geeks. And thanks for watching, geeks. If you liked this video and wanting to see more, then like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you check out our other videos too.